Hi Sagittarius, it's Power and Light Tarot coming at you with a reading. Today we have a reading outside in the yard, Sagittarius, and I hope you guys are well. These are general, so take what fits and leave the rest out. And yeah, this is Dee Fernandez, your psychic, your tarot reader, of course, your astrologer, your past life regression healer. Yeah, past life healing, that is a real thing, it sure is. Yeah, because it brings enlightenment, it brings us awareness. Amongst other things, yeah, it's too deep to kind of discuss in this little kind of, 1 minute thing here. Yeah, and let's get into this reading though, Sagittarius, and let's see what we have. We'll talk about readings a little bit later. And we have the other woman, and she's not always the other woman though. She is bare-breasted here, and she is waiting. We're gonna have to cover her though, because her beautiful body's showing here, but she's looking out the window. This can be the woman, the lover, can be the one who's waiting for somebody. She's looking out the window, and here she is, right? And she's dressed to go. I mean, not, she's wearing this beautiful kind of, drapey kind of wraparound here. She has her Venus necklace on. She's got her makeup on, and her pearls are in her hair, and that's beautiful. And so let's see what else we have for you guys. And we have the gift, all right? So the gift can be a physical gift, Sagittarius. It can be a gift that is, somebody might feel you are a gift unto them. You might feel they are a gift unto you. Or maybe they're bringing you a gift for sure too, I mean, that can be a physical gift. And we have the letter. The letter is about communication usually. It can be also about a document, any type of document, right? Legal document, letter, a note, even a message, yeah, like a text message. And now we have the determined man. So we have two people in this reading who look like they're want to be together, because she's waiting for somebody and looking out the window, and he is the determined man, and he's wearing the Mars necklace, and she has the Venus necklace on. That's very cool. Yeah, I feel like it is. We'll get another card, and now we have the false person. Okay, so the false person can be a manipulator, a liar, but it can be somebody who too is just not being who they really are. It doesn't mean it means that they could be deceiving themselves about what they want for themselves in this life. People do it every day, all day long. So that's what that can be about. And, she's at this masquerade party. Basically, the guy has a mask on in the back, and, but this is just kind of symbolic of something, some type of lying. And as I said, I'm not sure if it's self-lying or lying to the other person. It could be somebody lied to themselves about what was really important, because we have the gift here, right? Yeah. And so let's see what else we have for you guys. Whoop. And we have Nematona, and this is the sacred space. Create an altar or visit a power place to connect with the divine. A power place can be by the stream, by the lake, by the pond even, and, by the brook. It doesn't have to always be water, but water is really helpful for that, to help you connect with the divine and to connect with your own divinity, right? That's really what that means in essence. And we have compassion, and here's Kuan Yin, and release judgments about yourself and others. You see, so this false person, somebody could have lied to themselves about who they were or what they wanted in this life. So if you lie to yourself about who you are, maybe you're saying you're doing the best you can, and you're not, right? If you're lying to yourself about what you want, maybe you're married to, somebody, and you really want to be married to somebody else, and you know who that person is, or even a career, right? And it says, focus on the love and light that is within everyone. So somebody might have a little bit of, maybe there is guilt here, or regret, maybe, because releasing judgment about yourself and others, I mean, that could say that there was regret there. Yeah, it can. It can also say maybe there was guilt, and this is compassion. So this is really important this could be your advice, Sagittarius. Release judgment against this person. Could be. because I feel like the person who was lying in this, maybe they lied to you too. They could have, right? Totally. Or you lied to them even, right? Yeah, we're not all saints over here, right, Sagittarius? No, we try though, right, with the temperance angel. But, you know, they could have lied to you, and so that could, you know, could be a big problem here in this, or it could have been. It's not anymore. I feel like you're going to get a letter here, or it doesn't have to be a letter. People don't really write letters anymore, although I think they're very cool. They're just not as convenient with this fast time that we have going on, this fast, the age of information. The age of fast information should be the name, right? But, you know, I feel like you're probably going to get communication here from this person. But let's see what else we have. We'll get one more card. And today we're going to use the Housewife's deck. No, you don't have to be married or be a housewife. Leap of faith. And this is Ain. And this is take a risk and put your heart's true desire into action. You see what I mean about true desire? Somebody was lying to themselves, I believe, about what they really wanted or what they thought they wanted. You can lie to yourself sometimes thinking that you're being honest with yourself, but it's like you don't know all the time. It's really interesting how that is, right? You're not clear. You just think that you understand yourself, but you don't. So that's where lobotomies come in. No, just kidding, right? But yeah, I feel like somebody's going to take a leap of faith on you, Sagittarius, and their true desire is now coming out. Somebody was suppressing their feelings. That's what they were doing. That doesn't get you anywhere, but frustrated, unhappy, sad, regret, wasting time doing that, right? Yeah, we don't have time to waste here. No, time's a wasting. We don't know what's going to happen tomorrow or the next or tonight even. We're not sure, right? We're just, you know, anything can happen. We try to stay positive and be present and enjoy the moment. Yeah. So let's get into it. If you want to get a psychic reading or a tarot reading, Sagittarius, everything's below in the description box. I always check my readings for accuracy to get feedback. I do. Yeah, and they are accurate. And if you don't trust somebody, you don't know them, or you just met them, get a psychic reading on them. I always recommend getting the combo. You get the cards at the end, so you have two different readings, really, about the same thing, which is very cool because they both call out different things. Yeah, a psychic reading will not call out exactly what's in a tarot reading, and vice versa. A Mystic Sense has a free 5-minute psychic reading, and if you need insight also on your own situation, not romance or somebody else, you know, related, can help with that as well. And yeah, lots of fun formatting. You choose the formatting you want for the reading. Check out the description box. I also do past life readings, Sagittarius, and those are for healing. Yes, they are. So let's see what we have. The bottom of the deck is the Seven of Swords. And yeah, the Seven of Swords is these three. This can be about gossip. Yeah, these three women are talking, you know, bad about this other woman who's got two swords in her hand. And these women have nothing better to do instead of, you know, they didn't have to work either, so it's part of it, right? But, you know, they have nothing better to do than to talk about this other woman, right? Which is, you know, catty, and it just is. And gossip is a very low vibe. Yeah, try not to do it, right? Yeah, but the Seven of Swords, this is gossip. It can be backstabbers as well. Yeah. So let's see what we have in this reading, though, for you, Sagittarius. And we'll cut these cards. I don't know if I even cut them, but let's see. And we start. You don't have to be married to vibe with these cards, Sagittarius. You don't. Nine of Wands. And she is finished something, and she's going out. She's wearing her beautiful dress, and this is like fulfilling a chapter, some type of ending, but she's happy. And remember, the Nine of Wands, it's about the future, it is, but it is about fulfilling a chapter. We have the Ace of Swords too, and this Nine of Wands, and she's moving up the ladder. Wands are about movement. She feels like she's making progress in her life. Yeah, she does. The Ace of Swords is here, and this is more of an ordeal, not a new beginning. No, and this ordeal here, she's got her knife out, and she's going to cut these cakes and pies with this butcher knife, right, that you don't need. It's hilarious, but it's an ordeal. Yeah, that's what it's about. This sits in the challenge. And the Eight of Cups, wow, and she has her hand to her brow, and she's got to wash all these coffee cups, right? That's kind of the, the gist here, or the, trying to like indicate what's going on. And but these 8 cups really mean, they talk about one wish, kind of. They talk about something unfulfilling, and there's a failure here. That's what this is about. It's about something that has failed. Yeah, the 8 of Cups. And the Queen of Wands, Queen of Cups, the Hierophant showing up. These don't read in the reverse, but it is meaningful. It is King of Cups and the 9. So Sagittarius, what somebody is doing here is fulfilling a chapter that has failed them, that they didn't want, or they didn't want now. Maybe they ruined it, the false person. But I feel like they didn't know what they wanted in this reading. But, yeah, because we have this, put your heart's true desire into action. The false person never does that because they're too busy lying to themselves about what their true desire is. Now, somebody could have lied to you here as well, Sagittarius, right? Yeah, I mentioned that. But here, let's have a look here at the ordeal. Yeah. And let's look at that 9 of Wands real quick. And that is the overall energy. And this is about obstacles overcome, imminent success. Yeah, she's making movement there. That's what I said. And she is fulfilling something. And so, yeah, you're almost there. You've mopped the floor with the competition, and now your goal is within sight. Okay, so Sagittarius, this could be somebody loves you here, or there's like third party, or because this talks about competition. And it does. And in the challenge is the Ace of Swords, and that is the ordeal. Let's see what they say here. Challenges, trials, and upcoming ordeals. Upcoming, sitting in the challenge. So something is coming here that is challenging. The Ace of Swords warns of an upcoming ordeal that will test your mettle. Yeah, this is going to test you, right? Test your resources, your inner resources, your courage, your wherewithal, right? And we all need those tests sometimes so we can know where we're at on the marker of evolution, right? We all need those, right? We don't want to go back to the beginning. Like in that Monopoly, right? Yeah, go to jail now. No, we want to know how much progress we're making in life, and if we're really learning and doing well and being true to ourselves and all that. So that sits in the challenge, and that I feel like is part of this situation here. A slice of gumption. That's right. Everybody needs gumption, right? With a dollop of common sense will get you through whatever trial comes your way. Your mind is sharp and ready for a challenge, so don't be afraid to take on those who try to cut you out of the picture. Somebody could have been cut out here, though, or this person might have cut you out as well, Sagittarius. Now, because that does sit in the challenge. I feel like there's an upcoming ordeal here where somebody is explaining themselves. Could be with this document. This could be a divorce document as well. Yeah, these cards can mean a lot of things, the way they are set. Yeah, and, just what they mean in general. We'll get a card on the Ace of Swords. We have it with the Page. Okay, so he's naughty. If you guys remember what that word means, naughty. And it talks about, kids doing things they're not supposed to do. Naughty, right? Like you're bad. You're behaving badly. Naughty. I like that word. So, anyway, it's here, though. And he's laughing. He's putting handprints all over the wall. He's kind of laughing to his mom, right? And they're not showing her. And he's holding scissors, and he's running with scissors. He's a brat. That's really what it is, okay? It's not a big deal to be a brat, as long as you, right? It's not the most horrible thing, as long as you kind of grow out of it here. And here's the brat with the upcoming ordeals. that is in the challenge or the crossing energy. This person misbehaved with you, Sagittarius. They were doing something here. I feel like they did something here, but yeah, they could have cut somebody out with this Ace of Swords as well. So we have failure over here. We're going to look at that. Something might have failed here. It looks like you and them have failed in the past, maybe, or they failed you. I feel like somebody has failed themselves in this reading in a way as well. So let's look at the Page of Swords. And here he is. Inquisitive. Yeah, very curious. Yeah, this can be sometimes somebody who is just like going through life and learning, right? And you get into a relationship and you're like, well, I kind of blew that relationship, right? I mean, everybody's done that at one point, or either that or you're not human, or you got married to one person and just stayed with that person the rest of your life, right? Everybody's made those mistakes, usually when you're young, or like younger. Okay, and then we have mischievous, this rambunctious, headstrong mischief maker is full of sass and shenanigans, leaving quite the mess in his wake. Somebody could have left a mess in your wake, Sagittarius. Yeah, and tell him to stop. Tell him to wash his hands. He's got handprints all over the wall. And he'll ask you why. Tell him to stop running with scissors, and he'll say why again. This could be somebody who learned the hard way or learned the long way, right? Yeah, they could have learned the long way. Is that the right? Yeah. Yeah, learned, yeah, the long and hard way. Exactly right. All right, so 8 of Cups. We'll look at that. And this is why it's all happening. Broken heart, disappointment, and a failed endeavor. Yeah, a broken heart and disappointment. Wow, I feel like somebody was kind of screwing around here. Just going through life, screwing around, not knowing themselves, the false person. Lied to you, maybe, lied to themselves, it looks like, because this Page of Swords is always asking questions, sort of, but not really interested in the answer too much. So this is about somebody who is immature. That's what that's about. The Page of Swords was immature, and they have, maybe they cut you out here, but they have caused their own problems. Yeah, they definitely have. Yeah, and that's why we have this card about compassion. Release judgment about yourself and others. Yeah, when it says about yourself, that's very clear that this person did something to you, Sagittarius, or you did some, or they did something to themselves and you, right? Yeah, or and themselves. It's, yeah, it goes all every direction here. It could, and so the 8 of Cups. It's not enough to rejuvenate your broken spirit. 8 nearly stacked coffee cups symbolize fastidious preparation for the inevitable emotional hangover. Somebody kind of suffered here. Regrettably, it's not enough to rejuvenate your broken spirit. When the 8 of Cups appears, it may be your wake-up call to let go of a long-term relationship that has boiled over, or a failing endeavor you have invested a great deal of passion in. See, something ends in this reading, I think. I feel like something ends here. Now, they could have done this to you, maybe. But I feel like somebody has let go of a long-distance relationship. The Hierophant is in this reading. I feel like they have here because they didn't know what they wanted. And this card over here, the woman who is bare-breasted, sometimes she is the other woman. Because usually wives are not dressed like that. I mean, maybe they should be. She's bare-breasted looking out the window. That would help keep things alive. But usually not. It's usually kind of the other woman. There could be an other woman in this reading, right? Maybe you're the other woman, Sagittarius, right? Not sure. But here we have this Queen of Wands is showing up with a real bad attitude, Sagittarius. Yeah, I told her to chill out. And, you know, she's calling me out. She's much taller than me, though, Sagittarius, all right? And so she's sitting there, and this Queen of Wands, she's holding her, you know, she has her tiara on because she's the queen. Her broom is, you know, like her scepter kind of, right, her wand. And so, because they're housewives, but she's got her hand out, she's sitting down like, what the hell? Like, what are you doing? And this person could have done this to you, done something to you, and that is your attitude. This is external to you. So they may know that you're going to call them out. That could be it showing up in this reading. Yeah, where you just call them out, Sagittarius. We're going to get another card here. And we have the Seven of Cups right here with the Queen of Wands. She's making a choice. And it's a hard choice for her. You know, they're making a joke of the choice because she's choosing between which cocktail she wants, right? We have the apple martini, the martini here, you know, and then these other Mai Tai, these other drinks here, you know, but she's choosing what she wants to drink right now. So it is a hard choice, though. This person thinks that you're going to be like, well, I don't know if I want anything to do with you. That's how it looks. Or I'm not sure. I have to, you know, let me go think about it and make my choice. But with this Queen of Wands and her attitude, Sagittarius, and it can be very understood, or I don't blame her type of attitude here. The Queen of Cups is in introspection, and she's drinking. She is. These housewives were drinking, right? They didn't have to go to a job. 90% of them. What a life. I mean, I feel like that. I mean, in some way that can be rewarding, just staying home. If you've got, you know, other things to go. Back in the day, they went to go play bridge with their friends. Some of them played sports. You know, they went to the church raffle. I mean, all this kind of stuff that these ladies did when they were, you know, didn't have to work back in, you know, much earlier the United States era, right? We're talking about the 50s and the 60s, right? Yeah. My mom didn't work in the 60s, and she didn't have to, you know. She was taking care of kids. Yeah, Queen of Cups. Let's look at that Queen of Cups. And intoxication, emotions, and introspection. Yeah. And this is somebody's mindset. Somebody could be drinking a lot here. But you know, she's definitely not drunk. But they're in introspection, right? This is water energy, highly emotional and introspective. The Queen of Cups usually represents a woman in your life or a feminine aspect of your own personality. That's right. For her, the glass is always half full, if not filled to the brim. This can be about somebody who's kind of neglecting other things at this time because they are so into what's going on or what's going to happen here. Yeah. This person, the overall energy here is movement and feeling like you're moving towards success. Yeah. So the Queen of Cups, will get a card on the Queen. Where is the Queen at? There she is with her kind of polka dot dress. And we have Judgment. And Judgment is about, it can't be about self-judgment. It was in the reverse. And so, you know, yeah, and so she is looking at her weight here on this scale. So she's a little conscientious about her, you know, she's taking care of herself. But she's overly critical. She already is very thin. So, you know, what's there to complain about, right? But somebody is judging themselves for something they've done here, not about their weight. I highly doubt that because we have the card of take a risk. Oh, no, it says release judgments, compassion. Release them about yourself and others. And focus on the love and light. Okay, so this card right here, I feel like this person thinks you're going to judge them, Sagittarius. And they are probably seeing themselves as, you know, self-judgment, judging themselves. Yeah. Yeah, because of this failed endeavor here. And this person did not know themselves. I also feel like they were going through life kind of just being, not thinking they were going to really cause any damage for some. Right? I'm just living my life, but immature because the page is showing up here in the challenge. Now, the Four of Cups is in the past. This is a rejection of something. Something gets rejected here. And we know it has to do with this failed situation over here, the Eight of Cups, an emotional issue. So that's a major emotional issue that is affecting the person the next day. Yeah, Five of Swords is sitting in the concern. We'll get a card on the Five of Swords. And it is about accepting limitations. Yeah, this is the concern here. I have to accept some type of limitation. Realism. This is about pay attention to reality right underneath the immature page. Yeah, the problem with immaturity is that people don't know they're immature, right? It's not like, the problem if you have, 1 foot bigger than the other, that that's happening. But with your emotions, you may not know. It is not physical for you to look at or touch. Yes, so it acts out, right? Our emotions is a way of our psyche acting out, basically, or manifesting in the physical with these emotions. Yes, crying, whatever, mad, anger, whatever. That is just, feelings that are being manifested in the physical, right? So this 5 of Swords, time management and realism, sure, you think you can do it all, but no one is perfect. You should acknowledge and accept your limitations and focus on goals that are actually within your reach. I feel like somebody probably ended some type of a relationship here, it looks like, and or maybe they failed with you and they had too much on the burner for them in their life. That can be possible here. And, they were paying attention to stuff that wasn't even important, right? Maybe they were the ones who were like playing golf all the time or just, not paying attention here. But this can also be about, hey, I can only be with one person at a time. Let's move the camera down so you can see these cards. OMG, sorry, you guys. For those who are watching, right? And she's trying to make her own dress here. She doesn't have enough time, so so far it looks all right, but yeah, well, not necessarily, but yeah, let's see what it says here. And your perfectionist nature may be working against you. Somebody could have been a perfectionist here. I needed this thing to work this way, or I need to be married to somebody who's got a lot of money so we can build, or I need this perfect, I need that. Like too much on details and missing the big picture. That's what, we do sometimes, and it's not good. You have to be able to kind of be a Virgo kind of, which is seeing the details, and have Sagittarian qualities, which is the big picture. You can't leave one out or the other. If you see the big picture only, you're missing the details. Sagittarius can do that. They have a kind of a reputation for that because we are focused on the expansion and the big picture. And then Virgo can sometimes miss the big picture because they are focused on the details, and they are quite meticulous and really good at whatever they are doing. Yeah, because they are methodical and highly conscientious of doing really great work. That's Virgo. So, but we need the balance, right? Every sign has its, kind of up and down. It has its qualities and its pitfalls, and that's life too, right? Knitting baby booties and darning socks is an attainable goal. Sewing your entire wardrobe from scratch is not. Somebody who's trying to do too many things at one time. All the time wasted on the impossible could have been used more effectively for realistic tasks. Somebody might have had you in a third party, because we have that false person card right here, and where they thought that they could be with you and, Joni and Teresa and whoever else, right? Yeah, Rachel, it doesn't matter, whoever, right? Yeah, and so they might have thought that, Sagittarius. We'll get a card here. 4 of Swords. The 4 of Swords is about revitalizing things, and this wanted to come out in the reverse. So, there's probably, this person wants to revitalize a relationship you have, or whatever it was, if it was a long-term union or just maybe you were dating or something, but they want to revitalize that. This can talk about healing, right? It can, and this can be too, I'm going to be revitalized when I'm just focusing on one thing, one woman, one man. Yeah. And so now we have, with the 4 of Swords, let's look at that. Retreat, reinvention. Yeah, somebody has reinvented themselves. That's what they're doing here. They're taking the pressure off of either being in another relationship or something like that. Just let me focus on one thing. Let me focus on Sagittarius. And in the environment is the Hierophant. And in this is harsh truths. Yeah, truths. Yeah. And so, which is a hard thing to deal with. It is sometimes, which really is a powerful realization. or night of the soul even. Yeah, dark night of the soul. A purification, which is hard. A purification can be difficult. Answers, wisdom, and harsh truths. If you've got questions and answers and need answers, grab the TV guide and switch on the boob tube. Yeah, well, that was back in the day, of course. The Hierophant offers many answers and reveals secrets on every station. That's funny. But this is, about wisdom, gaining wisdom from harsh truths. It is a wise but undiscriminating oracle that broadcasts both family-oriented and adult programming. Yes, the reception is crystal clear, but you may not like what you see and you hear. Yeah, this is like an awakening here. This is a rude awakening for this person here who was immature, and that's part of the major problem here with this Page of Swords, this immaturity. And it'll ruin everything, right? You could be the most brilliant person in the world, but if you're immature and your sights are not set right, and maybe you don't believe in yourself, that is also a part of immaturity. Yeah, then how are you going to, manifest your greatness? You're not, right? Yeah, unfortunately. And so, but this is an awakening. So this is like the savior, save the day here, with this, wisdom and insight, right? The King of Cups, he sometimes drinks. He's sitting there with his beer. And what else is he doing here? Yeah. And it looks like he has something else here too. Can't really see what that is, but he's sitting down and he is in introspection himself, right? The King of Cups. Let's look at the King of Cups. Where is he? Contemplation, mystery, and devotion. Yeah, there's a mystery here because this person, I feel like this person loves you and they were too immature to deal, basically, in a nutshell, right? A deeply contemplative individual, the King of Cups seeks to forge. They could have been a little selfish too, kind of thinking, I can do everything. I can have everything I want at the same time. Maybe you and somebody else. That's a possibility. A deeply contemplative individual, the King of Cups seeks to forge meaningful relationships with anyone willing to enjoy a drink with him. Though his enigmatic demeanor suggests he is not entirely comfortable with his feelings, once he throws back a few cold ones, he tends to open up. Well, that's very common for a lot of people, right? That's, it is. I mean, even to dance, sometimes people, want to have a drink before they start moving and opening up, basically kind of in a physical way. He also may represent the need to let go of sober intellect and get in touch with your spirits. Yeah, this can be about somebody who is hoping that their intuition is correct here. This is what somebody wanted to do, and this is what they have done, Sagittarius. Yeah, they've done this. They have, they're in this contemplation knowing that they need to start trusting their intuition. Because the immature person never trusts their intuition. They have poor judgment all day long and twice on Sunday, right? And just the thing that bothers me is, I want the psyche to change, Sagittarius, is too bad they didn't know that, right? That they're being immature, right? Right? Then they wouldn't be immature, right? Yeah, that's the thing about these past life readings, too, is that once you know something, you're never going to do it again. You're like, oh, I'm not doing that again. And there's your growth. Right? Just acting with more integrity for yourself and, and more powerful, more personal power. And we'll get a card on that King of Cups. And we have it with the Three of Swords. And did I flip these cards? No, it's in the reverse, though. This person might want to unbreak your heart. It's possible here. This could be a third party that's ending. This could be about somebody who loves you. Sorry, Sagittarius. Somebody who loves you like mysteriously or secretly. That maybe you broke up with somebody a long time ago, and it's possible, or recent or whatever, or maybe you met them and they're just like, wow, I'm dazzled, right? But something ends here, third party or heartbreak or heartache, right? And the potential outcome is getting your wish. Here is the housewife and her husband. She's got a handsome husband too, Sagittarius, she does. But he gave her a gift for Christmas. They're in their robes next to the Christmas tree. And this is the Nine of Cups. And you're going to get your wish here, Sagittarius. Some of you guys are whoever really resonates with this and whoever reading this is, for sure. So I'm going to end this reading right now. Thank you so much for joining me here, you guys. Please like, share, and subscribe. It helps me with the YouTube algorithm. It really does, to keep these coming. Like, share, and and also, sorry, you guys, hit the little bell if you want to receive notifications. And check out the description box if you want a reading with me. They are lots of fun. Thanks so much, guys.